Good morning from day 3, Tuesday, August 30th. It's about 9 in the morning. Kind of been lounging around, having some coffee by the lake, by the campsite. And I'm just going to strike out on a little off-trail venture, go deeper into the basin. There's 2 other backpackers who camp somewhere around here, and they're out there somewhere. So I know the area up to a point where I had to turn around due to snow and ice. So I think I can get a little further this time. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna head up to the lake that's behind us and check that out. There's a campsite up there that I want to check out, and then I'll just relax and do some knitting.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
All right, see you later.
So Brian just left, and I came up to stretch my legs to the lake. That's just above our campsite. I walked up yesterday, and there was a woman camping here, and we had a nice chat just about hiking and the John Muir Trail and that sort of thing. But I wanted to check out her campsite because it looked like it had a good bit of shade last night. So that's where she had her tent, and it's really nice. You can hear the gurgling of the stream coming from the lake, and there's lots of trees for shade. So this would definitely be a good place for Brian and I to think about camping if we came back to this area. I did find an empty fuel container here, so it's kind of annoying, but I don't want to leave it here. So I'll still, thankfully it doesn't weigh like anything, it just takes up space. So we'll pack that out with us. And yeah, so I'll check in later. I'm just going to do a little exploring here and then head back to our camp.
Just started our off-trail adventure in the 60 Lakes Basin. That is the lake we're camped at. And we're camped up on a ledge up there somewhere. So, traverse the first lake. And it looks like we're going to follow this terrain and maybe go around and up over here somewhere. So that's where it's leading us. That's where we're gonna go.
I see you.
Brian, the base camp. I see the tent.
I'm just behind the tent.
Okay, so yeah, you probably can't see it on here, but the tent is like right there somewhere. So we got the radios on, and we're gonna keep exploring. So we just got onto our off-trail adventure and just kind of following this little stream that's running downhill, because usually there'll be a lake up there somewhere feeding that stream. So we're just gonna go find that lake and then go from there. Any kind of herd path or use trail, if there is one, I don't see it. So yeah, now we're truly off trail. The woods are fairly open. It's a nice morning. The shade, it's really nice. So we're just gonna keep climbing this line here, and I think sooner rather than later we're gonna see a lake. Well, as expected, we kept following that little feeder stream up, and we hit another lake. Most of these lakes don't have any names. This one is right at under 11,000 feet. We're going to traverse the right side of it, and then eventually it looks like we'll hook a left and find some more lakes. So pretty cool up here. No trails, great views, great Tuesday. Just to give you a little perspective, that is the first lake we found off our bushwhack, and we traversed this side of it and kept climbing. But way in the background, in that bowl, is the lake we're camped at, and our tent is over on the side somewhere. So pretty cool. We just reached a high point. We've got a couple lakes down here in the basin. We're going to go around the left side of that one, and then you can see another one up over the ledge there, and we're going to traverse around the lower half of that and then start climbing up here somewhere. Yeah, it's hard to do with the poles, but up there somewhere. But because we're so high up, if we look over here, you get a pretty good view of Arrowhead Lake. So that's the PCT, that's Arrowhead Lake over there, not too far away, but pretty far. So that's where we're at. We got to lose some elevation now, but that's pretty much what these trips are all about, especially in the Sierras, up and down, up and down. So we're gonna go down to those lakes, down to this lake, back up to that one, try and keep as much elevation as we can, and then we're gonna start climbing. That's the plan. One more thing, that guy staring us right in the face right now is Mount Clarence King. It's a 13,000 footer. I think it's close to 14. That would be the dream goal today. But we'll see. We're just going to keep climbing. I remember once we get around these lakes, there's like a cool waterfall feature. And at some point around there, I got turned around just because there was a bunch of snow over a water crossing that was pretty steep and did not feel safe. So we'll see what it looks like today and see how I feel, and maybe we'll get a little closer to the top. What's up, guys? Made it to another lake. Kind of been going up and down, so this lake is also at about 11,000 feet. And we're gonna traverse around the right side of it. I can't see with my sunglasses on. Hold on. We're gonna traverse around this side of it, and then I think start heading up into there, from what I remember. We'll see. So yeah, pretty cool. I don't know if we're going to share this next part, but I mean, this is what happens out in the backcountry, right? Digestion issues can be a huge bummer out here. And usually I have a pretty solid stomach. It's never a problem, or rarely a problem. So day one, nothing happening. Day two, when we got to camp, I had to go. That was great. This morning, day three, I had to go again. So I thought I was like back on schedule. And like day one, day two, felt like the slightest tinge of, I wouldn't even call it nausea, just like stomach uneasiness at certain parts of the day. Just knew something wasn't sitting quite right in there, right? But everything looked good coming out and no issues. So as I was coming up here earlier, probably about a half hour ago, thought I had to pass some gas, and nope, it was something else. So immediately had to like stop, and luckily I always have a TP in a Ziploc bag at the top of my pouch for emergencies, and this was an emergency. So I was able to clean up before any disaster, because just moving before anything got on my hiking pants, that would have been a big mess. Able to avoid that. And then just try not to touch anything except my trekking poles until I got to a stream that fed into one of these lakes, and just kind of washed my hands, not with soap, but being careful. But you always got to watch out for stuff like that. Making sure you keep your hands clean, and being ready for an emergency in the backcountry. You never know when it's going to hit. So that kind of explains my stomach uneasiness. There's definitely something not quite 100%. I mean, nothing that's slowing me down or inhibiting me, really. As you can see, I'm out here enjoying the wilderness today, but if it was any worse, it could be a bummer. So that's the kind of stuff that happens out here. You gotta kind of have to be ready for that, because I've carried that TP for 4 months, never had to use it until today. And I'm glad it was there. I didn't have to go digging and rooting through trying to find some, or not having any at all, because I left most of my stuff at the tent. So just little things like that with experience, you kind of develop your own system of what you need, even when you just think you're going for a little day hike and going back to base camp. So yeah, we're making our way around this lake as I talk, and we're going to start climbing again soon. See ya maybe at the waterfalls, unless something interesting pops up before that. Also, I know there's 2 other guys out here somewhere. I'm wondering if they were also heading towards Mount Clarence King generally, or just kind of exploring the lake. So maybe we'll bump into them at some point, but it's all's quiet. I just now, very recently, saw some very old deer scat, but have not really seen any scat at all in these parts, and no tracks to speak of, so things are really quiet out here. All right, so we're traversing around the edge of the lake, and we're going up there somewhere, to be determined. There's like a feeder stream, and we're gonna follow that stream up once we find it. Shouldn't be too much further. Amazing. We're at 11,225, give or take. Walking up this rocky chute. This is the point where I got turned around 3 years ago, more in like early to mid-July due to snow and ice. But it's very clear and crossable now, so we're gonna keep going and at least get one more lake. But this wasn't a bad viewpoint either. So we're gonna keep climbing for now. See how we feel at the next lake, if we're gonna keep going on or not. But yeah, I'll try and do a flashback. I think I have a little video snippet of what it looked like here 3 years ago. I'll throw that in there if I can, just so that you can see the difference. But yeah, pretty cool. So this is going to be new territory now. Woo! We are way up in the 60 Lakes Basin in the Eastern Sierras in search of unnamed alpine lakes. And there's one up there in that bowl. That's where we're headed. Just when we started this climb, we've been climbing for a while. A classic came on. Girl Talks All Day. If you don't know what that is, go on YouTube, do yourself a favor. Man, no matter what kind of genre of music you like, he's got a little bit of something for everyone, and it just gets you pumped up. Not that you need it with this kind of scenery, but it feels appropriate. And we're gonna keep on moving, looking for our next lake. Oh baby, Mount Clarence King, looming up there. Whoa, that's big, 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 big. But 2 more lakes, unnamed lakes, about 11,500, 11,600 feet. Whew. Man, it is magical up here. Just feel like so alive up here. I'm gonna keep going. I feel good. It's relatively early. I was able to get on the radio with Sarah. And I think the route is gonna be along that lake and then up there somewhere. We'll see. We'll look at the topo map, see what it looks like, see if we got any more lakes coming up. But we're not quite done yet. We still got a little bit left in us. So this is something you don't see every day in the alpine zone. This little pool of water, not being fed by anything above ground. There it is. Looked on the topo map and I saw there's still one more lake hiding up there somewhere. You gotta check it out. We're here. What the heck? Let's go check it out. So we're not done with our lakes here yet. We're gonna keep on climbing. We're at 11,700 feet. We found it. Team 60 Lakes Basin, another lake in the books. It's a big one, it's beautiful. Whoa. That's the last lake, I think. Now we're going true alpine conditions, nothing but rock. So I'm gonna take a little break here and then decide if I want to do a little more exploring or just head back to base camp and chill. We'll see. It is fantastic up here. Definitely gonna hang out for a while either way. Well, we kept climbing, and now we're on the other side of our lake, high above it. So close to the top. Can almost taste it. Whew. Will we do it? I don't know. But we're gonna keep going for a little bit, see how the route looks. I'm still feeling good. Still relatively early. I don't want to leave. It's too beautiful. All right, check in a bit.
So it's probably about 11, and I just came back up to the small lake above our campsite for a little walk. And it's beautiful up here, and I'm kind of making my way around the lake. But the interesting thing, I think we told you we've seen some things bobbing in the lakes, and we weren't really sure what they are. But when I came up to this lake, there's a rock with a string and some duct tape tied to it that says NPS, so like National Park Service, and then a number. So, and you can see a net in there. So my only guess is that they're doing some sort of fish survey or some sort of survey that's up here. So I'll keep checking it out. It was kind of interesting.
Took us a while, but we finally found a little patch of snow in the Sierras. What's up, day 3 update? This is gonna be our high point for the day. Not gonna summit Clarence King. Still got a lot of backpacking and hiking to do. I wanna save a little. But man, it's so spectacular up here. So I decided, let me get to 12,000 feet. So that's where we're at right now. And man, you can't beat the views, I'll tell you that. We're gonna start heading on down. Probably take a break down at our lake there, and then slowly meander on down.
So it's about noon, and I just thought I'd give an update. I just heard from Brian, and he reached his high point, and he's on his way back. I took my little adventure to the lake up there, and I'm back. I'm just sitting in the shade, working on my sock, trying to keep our bear vaults in the shade as well. It's kind of, this is a nice spot. There's enough shade to like move around and keep shaded, or like pop into the sun when the breeze picks up, or when need a little warm up, which is nice. But you can definitely tell you're up higher. We're, I don't remember, like 11,000 feet or so, because the sun's definitely stronger. Definitely trying to stay in the shade because you don't want too much sun. So that's my update from now, and I'm sure we'll check back in when Brian's back.
So we're making our way down, and we keep finding these little isolated pools of water. There's 2 right next to each other. Makes you wonder, are these part of the 60 lakes? You wouldn't think so, right? But who knows?
So it's just about 1 o'clock. So working on my sock, and I heard a hello, and it was the Ray Rakes Ranger. His name is Mike, and he's just on a patrol for the next couple days, coming up through 60 Lakes Basin, heading up to Gardner Basin, where he's going to maybe meet up with the Charlotte Lake Ranger. So it's kind of neat. I did ask him about the nets in the water, and he said there is invasive fish that have been introduced, trout, over the years. And so this is an attempt to catch all of the fish that are in lakes that shouldn't be here. I think naturally there were no fish in these lakes. And they're trying to reintroduce a native frog species. And it's happening in a couple different basins across the Sierras and the high basins. And unfortunately, he said in this area there's a fungus in the lake that attacks the frogs when they change from tadpoles into frogs. So you really don't see a lot of frogs here at all, he said. But the reintroduction of the native species is going really well in other locations. So that was just interesting to learn. But yeah, so that's it for now.
Made it back to base camp, day 3. Just had a little snack. I'm sure Sarah probably already made a video, but a ranger came by. Yep. So we're just enjoying the mid to late afternoon, and it's beer time. So pretty good Tuesday. So this little guy is right near our campsite. I'm not really sure what its purpose was. It's been bolted on, and I don't see like another one of them. So if anyone has any ideas about what this was for back in the day, love to know.